Good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal. Oh, they got a new fence. And it is Wednesday, as far as I know. And we are, whoa, already at 18 degrees here in southern BC, which would make it 64 in northern Washington state. That's pretty darn warm for this time of the day. Wow. Exhale. That actually is a good word for the day. Exhale. It was really strange last night. I was still at work, and it was interesting because the subject came up with one of my colleagues, and it was it was a problem that we needed a bit of thinking through, and so she and I sat down and we thought it through until about an hour after I would normally leave work. And she was saying, thank you so much for doing that. And I said, no, it's a pleasure. And I think she might even said, I'm sorry to have kept you so long. And the truth is, she didn't keep me. I chose to stay. I would be perfectly within my rights to say, hey, I've got something more important I have to do, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. And I didn't do that. I was quite happy to stay and chat about it and try and get to the bottom of it, which we did, which was really fun to do. And sometimes you do need to just do that with a problem, is just to sit down and look at it from all sides. And it's really helpful if you have a safe person to do that with. And when I say a safe person, you've probably heard me talk about that before. Not somebody who's going to judge you for it, just really somebody that can look at it from all sides with you. Because so often when we look at situations, we only look at it from one side. And so by the time we'd finished, we were able to exhale what was a problem. By the time we spent together on it, no longer was a problem, and we just breathed easily and went home with peace of mind. It wasn't all fixed, but we had enough of it under our belt that we knew that we were under control on the issue. So, and I realized that Yvonne and I do that a lot. Which is interesting. We will, if I am stressing out about something, she will come up and talk me through it. She knows that's what I need. And for example, when I came back from the trip to drop off my brother at my sister's house, she stopped everything she was doing just to sit and let me talk out the anger and the sadness and frustration that I felt. She gave me time to talk my way through the different areas of loss. And the reason she did that was so that I could move on. And I call that a real friend. And to me, that's the definition of a real friend, somebody who knows you well enough to know that's what you need to do, and you don't do it very often, hopefully. But if you can do that, if you can go through the anger and the sadness and the bargaining and all the other sort of bits that go around the grieving, if you can do that with a safe person, it will minimize the amount of time you spend in pain, emotional pain, and it will also stop you from depression or anything else. So this whole feeling of having time to exhale is important. And the reason that I needed it this morning was because I seem to have a lot of things. As somebody said to me, this June has been pretty eventful for me. And by last night I was sort of busy uploading videos and doing stuff, and I'm sure that some of you know what I'm talking about when I say to you, it was like the treadmill was going and I was having a little bit of difficulty just keeping up with it and staying at peace. Stop the world, I want to get off for a second. It's going too fast. And it was really strange because the phone went, and guess who was there? Benji. And bless his heart, we weren't on video phone, we were on regular phone, but he was holding both babies and trying to communicate with me at the same time. And it really, by the time I finished talking with him, and we spent about half an hour on the phone, I realized that really my life's pretty peaceful. Pretty darn peaceful. I really have to say that I so admire his whole attitude on life and on the girls and on friendship and everything else. And he really brings a great deal of peace to my mind. We hadn't had a chance to talk since being passed. And so that was really nice to be able to do that. Because, he'd known Bean all his life. And so we chatted about life in general and about the girls and about what was going on with me, and it was just like, it's been a while, and I was so grateful for that time to just defuse, because Benji gets me, you know what I mean? He understands the good and the bad of me and loves me anyway, and he gets me big time. So I am very, very grateful for that. And it was so cute because at one stage he said, "You're going to be so proud of me because," and I said, "Stop right there. Stop right there." And I said, "I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I need you to know I am so proud of you, regardless of what you're about to say. Regardless of what you did, I am so proud of you." And I meant it. I really did. I really was so proud of him. Now, for some of you who know Dougie, Dougie's off in Africa at the moment, visiting his real family. As you know, I am his Canadian mother, not his real mother. And he's gone home to go see the family. And I'm sure for him, that is a moment to exhale, to unplug from all the cell phones and computers and everything else. Why? Because half the time he's there, he's going to be without electricity. And again, something that we cannot imagine in our reality. Doug has a whole group of his family that still live in mud huts without running water and all the luxuries of life. And they are probably way happier than we are. So And he always goes to visit them while he's in Africa. And every now and then I'll send him a quick email. But I know the chances are he's never going to get a chance to read it, because he's going to have to get back to civilization. And then he'll go to an internet cafe where just about the only way to read your email is on dial-up. I mean, it might be a little bit better now, but you know what I mean? You've got to imagine it's that far behind the 8 ball. And so I'm certain that two things happen. I'm certain that when he gets there, he exhales, because this is his history. And there's something very comforting about that. And he's in the arms of his mommy and daddy, and you know, so it's sort of like a moment to just be a child. But a child in Africa, the first male child in Africa, has huge responsibilities. Basically, the first male child is responsible for the well-being of the rest of the family, all of it. And so he has huge responsibilities as well. And so part of his trip will be to check what the needs are of his family. And that could be a large number of people. And they will see him as a superstar, right? Because he made it to North America, and he works here, and they see that as huge. An achievement. And it is. And as some of you know, Dougie is one of the most humble people you will ever meet. And yet one of the most interesting people you'll ever meet. I love to sit down and talk about anything with Dougie. It's always fascinating to hear his perspective on things. He doesn't take anything for granted. He researches everything. And it's wonderful to talk about things with him, because he has so much knowledge. And so I was thinking this morning that this whole business about learning to exhale, learning to just let it go. Let all the buzz that is around you, all the negativity that's around you, all the BS that's around you, just exhale and let it go. And take a couple of minutes for yourself to be at peace. To be grateful for what you have. Take a couple of minutes after you exhale all that negativity to really be grateful that you're still breathing. That you can still see if you're lucky enough to do that. That you can still hear if you're lucky enough to do that. Just be really grateful for all the things that life has given you that is good. And take a few minutes to do that before you get back into the whirlwind of the opposite of all of that. I sometimes wonder whether we step outside the chaos enough. I know for those of you who pray a lot, those of you who exercise a lot, those of you who are very creative, there are all different ways to take yourself out of the madding crowd, if you like, out of the whirlwind that is life. And as you know, it doesn't really matter which of those ways you do it. It doesn't matter how you take that time for yourself. Some of you journal, very powerful. And some of you, I hope, visualize. And so I look at it and go, I definitely am not doing enough recently to exhale. And that's why I felt like the world was running a little fast for me. Because it was. I hadn't taken a moment to slow down. So I would wish that for all of you today. Just take a moment, slow down, be grateful for what you have, and just be at ease. I think it's the ultimate of being at peace. It's the ultimate of happiness. I know myself well enough, and I know what I need well enough to be able to take a break now and then. By the way, that doesn't mean that I don't act on things. Funnily enough, I acted on 2 things last night because they were both beginning to take up space. One was the idiot neighbor 5 blocks down who consistently plays music so loud that I can hear it in my bedroom, and I'm 5 houses away. Again, I phoned the police on this guy yesterday and just said again I was really sorry, but it was 20 to midnight and I could still hear the music, and I wondered if somebody could make it go away. Because the bylaw says 11 o'clock. I know that bylaw. And the other thing was, I realized I still haven't heard anything about Gilly, the little doggy I'm trying to get. So I sent an email, and wasn't nasty or anything else. I just literally sent an email that said, is there an update? Because then I have done my bit. I retweeted a great quote yesterday. I wonder if I can remember how to even paraphrase it. But it basically said, you know, what they do is their karma. I think that's how it was worded. How we react to what they do is ours. And I could feel I was beginning to get frustrated because I hadn't heard anything about Gilly, and I am getting very close to, it's now a week, and I don't even know whether I'm still in the running or not, and I'd like to. So I sent a quick email. And if I haven't heard by tomorrow, then I will go to the pound tomorrow and see what's sitting there. And you're probably saying, wow, that's dangerous because you go to the pound, you'll bring one home. And actually, no. When I went looking for Bean Bean, I went for 2 months and didn't bring anything home. Went every week for 2 months. Well, the reason I didn't bring anything home was because Bean was in there the whole time. I just didn't know I was meant to take him. So I kept seeing all these dogs and going, yeah, it's not the right one though, is it? And I could really feel that I was being guided, that the dog I wanted was going to be at the pound, but I wasn't looking at the right one. And then, of course, every time I went, I saw this dog in cage 16. I remember it very well. This poor, pathetic bag of bones. And eventually I realized that's... I'm slow, you know. He was my dog. Of course, I did laugh a lot when I realized how patient God had been with me, because he'd shown me the dog all along. And he'd made sure nobody else took him as well. So, yeah. And it was funny because I was looking around my house today as I got up, and I'm certain if you've ever had a long-haired dog, you will understand that, you know, Bean's been gone 3 weeks now, and I've still got dog hair everywhere. It's coming off the carpets now. It's not getting more into the throw rugs, it's coming out of the throw rugs as I walk across them. And so, I mean, it's not like it was when he was around. But one of the reasons I am seriously considering getting a dog that doesn't shed is it would be a nice change. I've never had a dog that doesn't shed. I lie. I did look after a pathetic poodle. I'm sorry to say that if you got a poodle, but it really was a pathetic poodle that needed a home. I did look after one of those for a while. Okay, so I'm just about at work, so my thought for the day, of course, is exhale. Let it go. Just be at peace. I don't care how many times today you need to do that. I don't care how many things start coming in at you. If they do, before you react, just exhale. Let go of some of that stress and pressure, and it's not your karma, it's theirs. So take it easy on yourself. This is Dear Mama Sal saying have a wonderful day. Be good to yourself and be good to others. Here's a virtual one-handed hug, because if I did two, I'd probably be hitting cars right now. And we'd hit, oh, very nice Corvette. Although I've never lusted after a Corvette, I don't know why. But it is nice. Stop looking at cars, so. Alright everybody, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.